Money Day, people, and welcome to another outlook for the week ahead. Okay, it's taken a little while to get back to this. Took a couple of weeks. I've been very busy. So apologies for that for those that are regular tuning into our outlook regularly and stuff like that. We are back on the ball though, so apologies for that. Obviously, before we get into it, of course, if you'd like to get started on your trading journey with us, then obviously hit us up on all social media platforms. You can get through to us on Instagram mainly, as well as our website. Okay, so definitely hit us up on that. So before we get into it, we're just going to check out the outlook for the day ahead. Now, for those that are in the UK, tomorrow is a bank holiday for us. So, you could expect limited movement within the London session, but obviously the New York session is operating as usual. So just be aware of that if you're not in the know. And looking at what basically can impact the data from a news perspective. Okay, nothing really on Monday. You got retail sales for the Aussie. Apart from that, nothing really standing out. Going into Tuesday, again, nothing super standing out. You got like consumer confidence for Germany, retail sales for a few of the European countries, but again, nothing standing out. Got job openings for the US in the afternoon. We got CPI indicator for the Aussie on the Wednesday. CPI for Germany again, a lot of German data coming out and things like that. But still, we want to focus on CPI is important, but not so much for Germany, more so for the Eurozones and stuff like that. So we also have employment change for the US, which is important. We've got inflation data for the German economy as well. So something to look out for. Thursday, we got retail sales for specific countries. Okay, we got unemployment data for the euro. So Thursday morning is quite important data for those that trade euro pairs as well, for sure. And then going into that afternoon on Thursday, got initial jobless claims. Definitely want to check that out. And then Friday, which will be the start of the new month, CPI for the Swissy for those that trade that pair, as well as what else do we have? Oh, okay, we got NFP on Friday, so definitely interested in that. That's probably the most high impact news event for this coming week. And yeah, that will definitely impact the dollar in some states. So if we go over to the charts and we have a look, this is kind of what the dollar's done. Starting with what we can kind of see, we've definitely been bullish on the dollar, of course. So looking at the daily outlook and stuff like that, this is kind of the daily picture. We kind of gapped up on that Friday. And then if we look at the weekly picture, we took out this weekly high here as well. So we've been very bullish for weeks now on the dollar. So getting that higher time frame retracement. Okay. Overall, what we can potentially expect, I do think there is more upside potential. It's just whether or not we continue from. If I look at, hold on, we can continue from what we see here on a 3 p.m. push on Friday, or if we actually want to retrace and come and take out that low, get rid of this imbalance. It's no longer there. But in terms of the uptrend, you can see we've kind of played into an imbalance, pushed up off that. On the smaller time frame, it's just whether or not we're kind of maintaining that. Now, it is possible, of course, but obviously with going into that London session, I'm not really expecting high volume. So definitely still trending upwards on the 4 hour and stuff like that. There's no reason to suspect that we're going to reverse heavily to the downside. I do think there are more upside objectives. So with that being said, if you look at stuff like GBPUSD, which has been heavily bearish, we was able to catch some sells on this last week. One thing I will say to you guys is we are within this daily area. So there's a daily candle at the moment that we're playing into. So in terms of if the structure was to change in here and give us a proper retracement. So as you can see, if we go on the 4 hour, this is kind of the 4 hour picture. So we do have equal highs above here, but we've been very heavily bearish. We have swept some lows as well, some old lows on the daily time frame, but there's no indication that we're going to turn around anytime soon. So as long as we're in this area, we are still valid to see something happen in terms of a reversal, but nothing playing as of yet. And then if we go on to the 2 hour, like we played into this candle and reacted very heavily to the downside on Friday. So I'll be looking to see if the pound wants to head down lower, because that is the direction we're trending in at the moment. But we have to keep an eye on the dollar as well as this daily area for GBPUSD. So if I take you guys to oil, this is kind of what I have for oil. Okay, so very interested in oil in this coming week. Do you get the swap? Hold on. Here we are, sorry. So if I'm interested in oil, based off the fact that we're in this potential area here, where there's an imbalance and things can kind of change. So where we played into this imbalanced area here, we took out this daily high. It's just whether or not we see signs of a reversal. Now, it's not quite happened yet. We filled majority of this imbalance has been filled, but we just haven't really had price give us that breakdown. So we bounced down quite heavily and then we kind of pushed up. So I don't know if whether we're going to come for this high on Friday. That is possible to take out Friday's high, and maybe fill the rest of this imbalance. But after seeing price move down and then bounce back up, that's not really what was on the card. So I'm going to wait to see the picture become a bit clearer, see if we want to take out this high and then formulate something off the back of that. But with that being said, we can't also ignore this bullish price action that we've got as well. So the dollar's going to play a factor. Obviously, if we get dollar strength, I would expect to see sales start to really develop. But in terms of just where we are in the structure from a 4-hour perspective, we are still bearish anyway, but it could push a bit higher than where it currently is. So that's kind of what I've got at the moment in terms of, yes, last week was quite a good week for price action in terms of big moves happening. So last but not least, I want to take you to the NASDAQ. Now, I'm bearish on the NASDAQ. I do think we have downside potential. We've got this double top here, but just the change of price delivery, like what we can see here, I do believe we have reasons to actually go lower. So looking at the NAS on the daily and stuff like that, this is kind of what the picture is showing. Very, very engulfing. We have played into this daily imbalance as well, so I'm not going to ignore that. But I do feel like we could potentially come down lower off the back of that. So what I want to see in terms of, as you can see here, we pushed down and then we've kind of pulled up. I am waiting for a bigger retracement. I do think we could feel a bit more of this imbalance. So coming up a bit more is definitely not off the cards. This is the area I'm kind of looking for price to get to see what price wants to do here. It's kind of the middle of this range from this top to this bottom here. And see if we can start to see price start to fall from there. But if it doesn't, there is another imbalance as well. So definitely wary of that. Same with US 30. It's got a similar picture. The only thing with US 30 is we are playing currently into this imbalance on the smaller time frame. So where we I'll show you guys this picture. Hold on. 1 second. Why it's moving so slow today? Here we are. So this is what I've got for US 30 at this current moment. We are playing into this daily imbalance. And obviously, after pushing down heavily into it, we was looking to see if a reversal was going to come of it in terms of a buy setup and things like that. But nothing has really been a given just yet. We've pushed out of it on the Friday, of course. But this area is definitely a stumbling block. If we can't really get past this area, we start to form a smaller time frame structure, breaking down again. I would expect price to start to falter down lower as well. But this is like the 34,000 level, so it could be very, very psychologically reactive. But I feel like until we see something really develop on the smaller time frames, there's nothing to suggest there's a full-on buy going on here. So I will be monitoring it. But with that being said, we're going to have to see how the London session plays out because it might give us nothing until the afternoon. So that's kind of what I've got going on for my outlook for the week ahead. So hopefully we can get some moves to end the end of the month. Remember, guys, when we approach the end of the month, the market tends to get a bit slower. There's only a few days left, okay? So the month, you think about the monthly candle closure coming in, and bear that in your mind in terms of how big of a move you're really willing to see play out this week. So yeah, guys, that's what I'm gonna wrap it up with. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and comment. We'll reach out to you when we can. And again, sorry, apologies for the delay in bringing you this outlet. We are back. So hopefully you found this video useful. Please remember, guys, every day is Monday. Peace.